think we're set. I still need my gold. Gotta get my gold, okay. Got most of my paints here. What's up, everybody? We're painting some Black Templars. Welcome to the show, everybody. As you can see, I've got my Black Templars army set here. I'll just line up everyone I've got on the docket. I don't think I'm going to get to all of them. I might do some batch painting. The goal is try to get as much done as possible. I finished building up and priming the Dreadnought, and I just thought, you know what, I'm going to get going with this Dreadnought guy. So this is the Black Templars army set. We got 10 Primaris Crusaders, a Marshal, an Emperor's Champion, and this guy, which we're working on right now, the Redemptor, Primaris Redemptor Dreadnought. I'm going by the box art, or the cover art, rather. So let's take a look at what we're doing. All right, I'm gonna try. We're not gonna be exactly box cover accurate, but we are gonna do what we can. I used to always want to paint different. I never liked following the box art, and then I found that as I got older, it was just easier and more fun for me to try to replicate the box cover art. Kidney Punch, paint them all red. Hey-oh, Red Templars. Nathaniel, cool, hello. Yo, what is it? This is the, this is a Redemptor Dreadnought for the Black Templars army set. Thanks very much. Yeah, give it a try. So what I did was oh no, I spilled my Rackhard flesh all over my felt set sheet. So what I did was maybe I can wash this out. I spray primed the model in black. Then I did a heavy dry brush of Corvus Black. That is way too watery. My Rackhard flesh is way too watery. And then I did a Corvus Black dry brush, and then I did Night Lord's Blue, and then Fenrisian Blue. And it makes a really nice, like, black topper. Warhammer, yes, Kidney Punch, Warhammer 40K. The Black Templars army. Hey, Huel, how are you doing? I didn't realize I had that much water in my Rackhard flesh pot. It was getting a little thick, so I put some painter, like, mixing balls in. And, oof, made it, like, a little too watery. Better leave it there to dry. I'd love to stay long enough to finish this thing with you guys, but I might be running away. You know how it is. I got a baby, trying to sleep upstairs. And if she starts screaming, then I'm gonna have to go and tend to her. Love to paint Warhammers, but I am a father first and foremost, so thank you for your understanding. This is my favorite black paint to use. It's Necro Gold from Metal and Alchemy. Put a little bit of that on my wet palette. Maybe if I get far enough with this dreadnought, I'll knock out a couple of guys back there so it's not just an ocean of black primer that we're looking at. Hope you're all doing well out there. Happy Monday, early Monday morning, wherever you are. Thank you for the likes. If you guys can hit that like button before you go, greatly help me out. I greatly appreciate it. Let's check the artwork and see if there's any more gold on this model. Looks like around the sarcophagus and that gun, but that kind of looks almost more like Retributor armor. All right, it's a good thing to have the box art like nearby and accessible, you know. Takes a lot of the guesswork out of it. Hi from Ireland, Emmett. Hello. Welcome to my stream. Thanks for checking it out. The Redemptor Dreadnought is a pain in the butt to paint. I do not like building dreadnoughts. Hello, War Boss. What brushes do you use, Captain Fishing? Don Pingo. Yesterday I had a fun little game of Black Templars versus Drukhari. Finally one of my Black Templars for once. Very cool. Captain Fishy, I've got it linked in the description of this video. They are brushes from a company called Golden Maple. And if you use my promo code WART, W-A-R-T, then it will give you a 10% discount. And my recommendation to anybody who wants to start painting in Warhammer and like really seriously getting into the painting side of it is to pick up the set that I've linked for you. I've kind of curated this artist's brush set that has 4 detail brushes and 3 dry brushes. In fact, I used one of the dry brushes to get the dry brush of the Corvus Black on, and it works really, really well. So if you dry brush like large things, vehicles, monsters, machines, dreadnoughts like this, then I would highly recommend it. It's really good. And the detail brushes are great for doing all of the small detail work like eyeballs. And for my Black Templars, I like doing a very like rough texture, like a burlap sackcloth texture for their robes. And I can show you with the brushes that I've got linked, but it's very, very easy to do with the brushes. Like you need a good set of brushes with a fine point. Most any painting application, you can't rely on the junky, 20 brushes from Walmart for $3 super deal. Use makeup sponges. Yep, those work too. My man, new here. What's chapter you run? This is Black Templar. Tom, these are Black Templar too. I'm doing the Black Templar Army set. That came out in 9th edition. This is the limited edition hardcover codex that came with it. Got some fantastic John Blanche artwork on the front. And I've got it sealed in the plastic shrink wrap too because I want to save it to sell on eBay. What's your method for painting into hard to reach spots? To use a painting handle like this. This is a really good way to get into hard to reach spots. So say like I have to reach the backside or under here, I would just clip it to my painting handle, then you can turn it any direction and you have easy access to it. I'm not gonna can you normally stream, but I can't mini play this. Never mind, I can. I lied, sorry. That's okay. I didn't understand what you were saying anyways. All right, so let me show you my my technique for doing this burlap sack cloth texture. So with any size brush, it doesn't have to be a detail brush, you paint the texture, the robe or whatever. With this also works for dark angels. Dark angels have a lot of robes on their figures, but I don't think I don't know if they use this bone colored robe as a color, but you could do it with what color are, yeah, I guess so. Dark angels, their robes are cream colored, right? So man, this rack art flesh is really thinned down. You're gonna need a couple of thin coats because I'm painting over a black primer. I should actually not be doing this yet. My technique is to do the dry brush over the armor first. So this is all gonna get covered up, but I just want to show you guys my technique here. What I might do, because it's so, my rack art flesh is so thin, is I might add, how do you get a full coverage prime black? I just use the Games Workshop Chaos Black spray can, the rattle can. That works for me. And then I let it dry for a couple hours and now I'm back at it. Okay, so I got some Xandri dust. I mixed it into the rack art flesh. Let's see how that looks on the back here. If you don't want to buy the Games Workshop painting handle that I'm using, you could also use like a piece of cork or an empty paint bottle and some poster tack or sticky tack. I used a piece of cork for like many, many years. I just sub. Oh, thank you, Tom. I wish I could watch longer now, but Dad life calls. Yep, I know how that is. Happy to have found you. Can't wait to chat. Yep, me too. Join the Discord as well. I've got a Discord. It's linked in the description. If you could join me there, that would be great because then you can share all of your stuff there and join all of my painting challenges. So yeah, check out my description, guys. I link all of my favorite things, like the paintbrushes that I use that I highly recommend, my Discord, this set from Artel W called The Brotherhood of the Nine, which is basically like a science fiction 40K Inquisitors band of, but like based off of the Fellowship of the Ring. It's got like a Inquisitor that looks like Gandalf. It's got, what do they call it? Enforcers, interrogators that look like Aragorn and Boromir. It's like really cool. I've got that all built up, just waiting to get back to the Bay Area so I could paint them. All right, so this is my second application of a coat. It should be rack art flesh, but I mixed a little bit of Xandri dust because my rack art flesh is so watery right now. I'm gonna let that dry for a minute, and then we'll come back to do the detailing. For primer, have a look at a company called ColorForge. Okay, their spray is better than Games Workshop, so more cost effective. I would love to check it out. Yep, happy hobbying. Thanks, Tom. Happy dad life, brother. We'll let this dry in the back. I'll come back to that in a second. For now, I'm gonna keep on moving with this dreadnought. Let's lay down some white shoulder pads. I'm going to start with a Celestra Gray. As a base paint, it has really good coverage. We're not going to slather it on. We're going to do 2 thin coats. As my man Duncan would say, 2 thin coats. This first one is totally fine if that black primer is peeking through. Finally, a peak stream. That's right. We're gonna paint up all these Black Templars. These are Black Templars. They are a successor of the Imperial Fists. This specific set that I'm painting is a Dreadnought, an Emperor's Champion, a Marshal, and 10 Primaris Crusader Squad guys. Which color do you use for edges? And you know a gray that edges, for the edges that goes well. I use, okay, so for my edge highlighting, I looked at the box art and I tried to replicate what I'm seeing here. It looks like a dark blue, like a Cantor blue, followed by Fenrisian gray. This is definitely Fenrisian gray that I see. But that first color, that darker blue underneath, I think is either a Cantor or a Night Lord's blue. So that I went with Night Lord's. Might have been a little too dark. And then I didn't clean it up yet. But to clean up your highlights, if you see that they're getting a little too chunky, it's real simple, especially off of black. All you do is take a little black on your brush and you paint from the center of the area that you want to push the color back. And just do it like that. Like I always say in painting, there's no mistakes. There's just opportunities to get good. I think Bob Ross told me that. Good day, my friend. Oh, good day, my friend. Hold on. I'm getting a lot of chats right now. Awesome. Hello, I have a question. I'm a Templar player. What colors have you used for the edge highlight? Yep. Night Lord's blue and then Fenrisian gray. California Sun-Dried Goose, Black Templar. Nice. Doran's Gene Line. Yep. Paco Lambert. Good day, my friend. You probably get this question a lot, but what brush are you using? It looks like a really good brush. Yes. Check out the description. There's a link to a set of really good brushes from Golden Maple. I've been using this for weeks and it still has its brush, its tip, it's sharp, it works well. Of course, I take care of my brush. I make sure I don't dip it in paint down to the ferrule, but you get 4 detail brushes in this set. 1, 2, 3, in fact, ooh, Echo thinks I'm talking to her. Sorry for the shake. One of these, this one is not really a detail brush, it's more of like a base coat brush. And, oh hey, the one from the past, how are you doing? I'm very well. What's your main faction? I play whatever faction I can paint that is gonna sell on eBay to get me money. I'm not much of a player anymore. I used to be, but now I'm more just a painter. I like to paint to keep my skills sharp. If anything, I've got a collection of Vostroyans that I'm never gonna sell. And I've also got some resin old school Krieg. What was I talking about? This set of brushes from Golden Maple, it's 4 detail brushes and 3 dry brushes. And like I think the cost per brush, if you break down 7, so it's like something like $5 or $6 per brush. It's amazing. Like I think the entire brush set is $30-something, but each of these brushes is like really specifically good for whatever application you're using it on. I use this one to dry brush Corvus Black onto my Dreadnought. I'm probably gonna use this bigger one to dry brush. I've got a Leviathan Dreadnought. I've got a Rhino that I want to paint up in like either Black Templar colors or Raven Guard. And all these brushes are really great for doing detail work. So I hope that answers that question. Make sure if you check out the set on Golden Maple's website, you use the promo code WART, W-A-R-T, and that's going to give you a 10% discount on your order. So Golden Maple makes some great brushes. I've used Golden Maple brushes before, and they're really, really great. And then once I asked to become an affiliate of theirs, then I was like, let's put together a really good brush set that I think all hobbyists can use and benefit from. I think in like every hobbyist's tool set, you need a brush that can handle all of your tasks, right? You need a specific brush, like a specific tool for every one of your tasks. And the main tasks you have is what I'm doing right now, laying down a base coat for a large-ish area. You need a detail brush. I think dry brushes are more of a luxury, but if you have them, it makes things like chainmail, doing fur, it makes some of these so good and so easy compared to if you don't have them. And then you need a detail brush. I used to think I could get away with just using my regular workhorse brush for doing eyeballs and fine applications like that. And you can get away with it, but if you want to actually have a model that looks good, and also, you know, when you use the right size brush, like if I use the right size detail brush to do eyeballs, it just feels easier. You don't feel like you're fighting against your brushes. And I think that's a lesson I've had to learn the hard way over the years, because I'm a stubborn guy and I'm a cheap guy. I like to save my money, and I'm like, if I don't need to spend money on something, I don't want to buy it. And then once I had this entire set and I was using each of these brushes, I was like Danny DeVito in It's Always Sunny, where he's watching the dance and he's like, I get it. Like all of a sudden it makes sense. But sometimes you have to actually be there. You have to actually have the brush in hand, and you have to be painting the eyeballs, or the technique I'm about to show you for painting the sackcloth, and then you'll get it. So hopefully you guys get it soon. Without that, hello, Omni Clark, welcome to my stream. Bounty, Black Templars, yes it is. Yes it is, Black Templars. I don't want to do too much. If you paint too much, like if you're like, there's not enough coverage, I want to paint another layer on, before the first layer has dried, you're going to end up having a really thick layer of paint or some unsightly brushstroke marks, and that is not good. It's going to make your minis very unhappy. So let the paint dry. Do 2 thin coats, let the paint dry each time, and you'll be a lot happier for it. The reason why I have this big brush out is because I want to get to all of these metal bits, or silver bits rather. Okay, I'm looking at the artwork, or the box cover. Bob Ross should have been put in a dreadnought. Even in death, he still serves. Ear hammer. Thanks for the likes, guys. If you want to like and share, leave me a comment. I would appreciate all of that. That really helps get me out into the algorithm. Tells YouTube, hey, Warboss Taze got a pretty cool thing going on over there. You should check it out. And anybody else who happens to be online that might be interested can pop on in, hang out, chill for a little bit, talk about Warhammer. All right, you guys, I am focused like laser on this dreadnought. So if I miss your chat, I'm going to try to go up and read it in a minute. But if there's something you're asking me or a question, please don't think I'm ignoring you. I am not. I just have to use my eyeballs right now. And if you'd like to support me, the super chat is always an option that I love. But if you'd like to become a monthly member of my channel and have access to all of my digital downloads, I make planners and recipe cards and calendars and all sorts of stuff available on my Discord. I would much rather have you getting some value that way. But if you want to just send me a tip and say thank you, or just support me through a super chat, then that would be greatly appreciated. All right, I see the chat scrolling up. I am gonna get to it in a second, I promise. If you asked a question or want to know anything in particular, then please be patient. Let me just finish these big silver sections of the legs here. All right, looking pretty good. This is just the base coat, so I don't care to be like absolutely 100% perfect. I don't think you can hold yourself to too high a standard. If you guys are painting miniatures, if you've got any history painting miniatures, then you know you don't want to get too far in the weeds with your base coat. Otherwise, you're never going to proceed. It's like getting stuck in quicksand. You want to just go as quick as you can with these base coats and get to the highlights. Interesting, it looks like the bottom part of this knee armor design is in black, so let's do that. Again, I'm using a golden maple. This is a size 4 brush. It's a big boy. Comes in a set. Click the link in my description. It'll take you right to the golden maple website. Use promo code WART, W-A-R-T, for a 10% discount. I got the rest of my crew back here is like my cheering section. All right, let's check out what I've missed in the chat. Is this Magic the Gathering? No, this is Warhammer. What brand of paint do you use? I like Pro Acryl. Pro Acryl is terrific. If I could, I would switch all my paints out with Pro Acryl. Lyle, for the Emperor. What chapters are you Dreadnought? All of these are from the Black Templars chapter. Did you end up giving the Emperor's Champion a shield? I have not. I've been looking around for a shield. The one from the past, one I can use. I might have a spare, like, Blade Guard Veteran kit around. Or maybe not a kit, but at least the bits to make one. We'll see. Are these for personal use or for a commission? Josh, they are going to be going up on eBay when I'm finished with them. How do you do it so well and quickly, bro? That is amazing. Thank you, Luis. I can teach you. Just let me know which part you want me to show you how to do. Clark, thanks for the tips. I'm just starting painting Warhammer. Welcome to the hobby, my friend. You are going to love it. If you've just started painting or if you're just returning to the hobby, welcome back. Welcome to it. It is fun, 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 fun. My goal is to get this Dreadnought like at least to the washes stages tonight. If I can get it completely painted, that would be fantastic. Down to the transfers. Oh boy, that'd be terrific. I'm building him up according. I built him up according to the instructions here. So he's got this assault cannon, and then his power fist has like a hand flamer underneath. I think it works well. Heavy bolters here. You can also do missiles, but I've already got missile pod on the top of him. So I thought, you know what, assault cannon and the flamer is good. These guys are known to be really good at their hand-to-hand, getting in close, and Black Templars are like known for fighting up close and personal. So I wanted to follow the instructions, or the box art rather. All right. Sorry for the. I've got a really janky phone brace here in my place. I need to invest in a better tripod. All right. I I'm thinking about getting a Primaris Chaplain tomorrow for my Death Watch army. Okay, probably going to be making it a Black Templar. What chapter would you make it? I would. You know what? Black Templars are like the most like fanatical that I think would fit a chaplain. So yeah, that would work for sure. All right, now I'm going to go to the arm joint. I love how in the box cover, or the box art, all these silver bits in the underneath part look very oily and like industrial silver. I think that's perfect for Black Templars. So utilitarian and workman, I guess the one description would be. They're all business. They don't have time for fanciness. Yeah, I love the Pro Acryl range. I've only got one paint of theirs, Bold Titanium White, and it's the best white I've ever used. But I've seen in painting tutorials other people using different colors from Pro Acryl, and I'm like, I gotta get all of those colors. Those colors need to be in my collection. Okay, it looks like that is black. Oh shoot. But this part is gonna be silver. Lord Boom, imagining you're on a battlefield and you're dying, next thing you know, you're in a walking coffin. Yep. What was I reading? I think it was the Night Lord's Omnibus that really drove home the loneliness and the horror of being entombed in one of these. Like, it's bad enough if you're in a loyalist imperial dreadnought where they actually respect you and like try to treat you good. But oh man, imagine if you're... I think it would be even worse if you're like a word bearer or like one of the real baddies. Worship chaos and like, all of a sudden you're a demon host now, or you've been fused into a machine. Horror stuff, body horror. Whatever happened to the Hellbrute? Do you guys remember the Hellbrute? It was like the chaos alternative to the Dreadnought. Don't really see those being used or talked about. But I don't know, I could be wrong. I don't play Chaos. It's a very Chaos-specific thing, the Hellbrute. I wonder if I should just glue this arm in place. Keep it from wobbling. See, having a brush with it like a large, flat, like a large surface of bristles is so helpful when you're putting down a base coat. You lay down a lot of paint quickly. It's really helpful. Which Legion is it from? It is from the Black Templar Space Marine chapter. When the Imperial Fists Legion, after the Horus Heresy, when they had their successors. So one of the most famous, I think the other really famous Imperial Fist successor would be the Crimson Fists. Thank you for the likes. If you guys can share, like, comment, share, subscribe, all of the stuff the algorithm likes, I would be greatly appreciative. You can join me on my Discord too. Links in the description. a very active and fun group over there. The one from the past is one of our superstars. He's got a giant Death Watch army full of all sorts of crazy things that he's painting up. And we got a lot of new people joining because I've been doing some work on TikTok and getting a new audience from there, and just doing more YouTube shorts, and just having a fun time trying to get as many people excited about the hobby, excited about painting. I always say one of my favorite things to say is that there's no better time to start painting, because if you're just coming to it, there are so many great models out now, so many great armies. If you're returning to it, like if you've had to stop to do college or raise a family or start your career, this is always a hobby that's been waiting for you to come back. Hey, Abdan, welcome back. They're cool, too fanatical, but cool. I prefer the Dark Angels. Yep. You know why I like them? Because they're so they're so fanatical and backwards thinking, whereas every other Space Marine chapter that fights for the Imperium has what I like to call a little bit more thoughtfulness. The Black Templars are so fanatical about like just existence and their eternal crusade. Sorry, I'm resting my hand on the table, so every time I move my fingers, it shakes the camera holder a little bit. All right, so as we say, 2 thin coats. Here's my second coat of Celestra Gray. It's such a large surface area, I'm probably going to do a 3rd coat, but 2 thin coats is usually all you need to cover, even over a black primer. I didn't join the Discord yet, but you inspired me to work on my Corn Berserkers. Awesome. Blade Angels fan, Lamenters are my favorite. Yeah, they're great. If only if ever I get really good at freehanding, then I'll start a Lamenters army. I had an Ultramarine Lieutenant miniature, but my dog ate it. Ultramarine is probably a word bearer. Word bearers are notorious for not liking the Ultramarines. All right, I'm having a great time, guys. I hope you're enjoying watching this Dreadnought come together here. I want to take a break from the Dreadnought for a second. Gotta still hit the silver there, but I want to continue showing you my technique for doing this cross-hatching. Okay, Pallid Witch Flesh, yeah, that's fine. So what I did was I started with a Rakarth Flesh, and I actually had to add some Xandri dust to thicken up the Rakarth Flesh because it was so watery. I might have to get another pot. But after that is dried, I would take my straight Rakarth Flesh now, and I'm doing a directional paint stroke from the upper right hand of the screen to the bottom left hand. I guess that's the easiest way to talk about direction. So when you're doing this, you don't really have to worry about showing the individual brush strokes yet, but this motion, when you're putting down the paint, the miniature is going to respond to it, and you're going to start seeing these subtle lines coming up. Lamenters really have such bad luck. Yep, they're known as being super unlucky. I've never actually lost or broken a miniature, and never plan on having that happen because I'm way too careful with them. I know, I used to think that too, but then I got kids. Okay, so now as you can see, if you've got a good detail brush, as you're doing this technique, you're going to start seeing the individual brush strokes, even if you're not trying to do individual brush strokes yet. you're just going to see them because the natural way you're painting the miniature, some of these are going to show up. And that's good. That's what you want. While that's drying, I'm going to add a little bit of pallid witch flesh. Now you could also use, I think I've used wraithbone in the past, but just add this to your Rakarth flesh. Oh, look at that. Classic GW. Classic GW. I like the salamanders. I like making stuff fire and green. Yep, Vulcan lives. I was really into the novels, and I remember when I got to Vulcan lives, I was like, this is crazy. I think I like salamanders more than I ever have before. All right, I was able to smash down some pallid witch flesh, mix it with the Rakarth flesh, and we've got a pretty good approximation of a color that I want to use as the highlight. So again, first color was Xandri Dust mixed with Rakarth flesh. Second color was straight Rakarth flesh. Now what we're going to do is with my superfine detail, is this a 2/0? No, this is the 1. I'm going to switch this out for my superfine detail brush that comes in the Golden Maple set. It's the 2/0. I'm going to take my pallid witch flesh, Rakarth flesh mix, and you only need enough so that it's on like halfway up the tip. I'm going to wipe a little bit of it off because we don't want to overpaint. And because I went from the upper right of the screen to the bottom left, this time I'm going to be doing a cross pattern, diagonal from the upper left to the bottom right. That's kind of what we're looking for. I use the top part, like the torso armor, just to kind of test it out before I go all out on the bottom. What you're wanting is to make this like a potato sack texture. So heavy cloth, heavy, not denim, but you know what I mean. And if you have a fine brush with a sharp tip, like these golden maple ones, then you can really see each individual line. And I don't even feel like I'm working very hard. I feel like I'm painting with like a pen rather than a brush. So there you go. And you can tell it doesn't really look too much like a crossword cross hatching pattern. So if you want, you can go ahead and thicken up some of those lines by going in the opposite direction. But if you do, you just have to be really, really tight with your diagonal lines. And again, if I didn't have a good brush for this technique, you would be able to tell immediately, because all the lines would be messy and sloppy, and they wouldn't look very good. This technique works so good because of these golden maple brushes. So there you go. Quick and easy. Just like three colors. And then you got a little bit of bleed through, so I would just take some black paint and work from the outside that's farthest away from the sackcloth, and I would just slowly edge it back in. There. Ta-da! Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Yeah, dog food is killing us. A sepia wash on that would make it pop super hard too. You know what? I'll try that. Let me try that. I think I had a Seraphim sepia. EK676. I don't know if I've ever chatted with you in one of my streams before, but I'm gonna I'm gonna let you take the wheel on this one. Let's go with a little bit of a watered down, never paint straight from the pot, even washes. It's always possible to add more thickness and heaviness, but once you go too heavy, especially with a wash, you cannot go back. Yeah, gotta water it down. Seraphim Sepia is it's got some thickness to it. Ah, soka. Soka, so desu ka. Yeah, you can still see the white hatches. Just a little bit of a kiss of color, not too much. And now once you do that first one, you can be like, oh, okay, I see. I can add a little bit more of a thicker heaviness to the fold because it's Tone 415. What's up, brother? So I'm gonna go straight from the pot and go right down the center. I wouldn't go straight from the pot for all over, but yeah, I can see how adding it in like that makes a nice like shift in the paint. It's not as ivory-like. Thank you very much, EK676. Awesome. Yeah, Tone, welcome. We got 2 channel members in the chat. Have you tried the Monument Hobbies Glaze Medium? Makes washes shades pop so nicely. No, I haven't. That's another one I'm gonna have to check out. I think the only mediums I've got are like Lamian medium somewhere, and then I've got the Army Painter one, I think. Really helps your midtones tie your dark colors into your highlights. Very cool. Man, we got some artists. We got some professionals in the chat tonight. Tomorrow I'm cracking open my new H&S airbrush and getting some models primed up. That's the way to do it, brother. That is it. That is it. Every time I hear about someone like considering starting Warhammer is woke, now it's over. New here, just do you have a community Discord? I do. If you are not in the Discord, everybody please join the Discord. It is linked in the description. I would love to have you there. Get a new hobby, bro. You know what? I have faith. I got faith. And even if it's woke, you know what? I remember the good old days. This is my third. Oh no, I think I've got a little bit of, not the Seraphim Sepia, but I think I've got some Rakarth Flesh still on this brush. So Celestia Gray is the color that I'm gonna put down. What paints do I use? I'm using, we have cookies in the Discord, yes we do. I'm using Citadel paints. And the reason why I do that is because most of the people who watch my videos have access to Citadel paints. Not everybody has access to the Pro Acryl stuff or the other stuff. Just don't read the woke stuff. I don't. You know, piggybacking onto that though, I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I'm a huge Bretonian fan. I love my Bretonia. And they changed a lot of stuff in the old world setting to make it more attractive to the modern audience, and a lot of stuff I didn't care for. So what I did was I just said, you know what, in my version of Bretonia, having like a knight like Rapunz de Leon, the Joan of Arc character, having her be special is because of who she was and what she was doing. Like I like that. I like having one special female character that like really went hard with it. And I think the book had like all these, I think like 4 female characters that were also knights, and a bunch were like Pegasus knights. And I was like, this doesn't vibe with the old lore at all. And like, I'm not some crazy lore purist, but I think in my mind, Bretonia was more fun when it was super super Britonia. You know what I mean? So yeah, I just paint the minis, man. I just paint the minis. I might have missed a reply. How do you find the Discord? The description of this video should have a link to the Discord, and also most of my videos have a link to the Discord. Could be Beastmen. That's true. What army do you collect the most? Vestroians and Krieg. Looks like I still have to do a little bit of more work with the Celestial Gray. I'm gonna start adding some more white colors. So I'm gonna add a Corax white to the Celestial Gray so that the shoulder pads look a little bit brighter. Looks like the knee pads are doing pretty good. What was I doing? I was doing the weapons, right? Okay. So what do I need? I could still use my gold color here. DC is pretty sick. Death Watch. Do you like Trench Crusade? I think I would. I do not have any experience with it. I was looking up on eBay though, some people who are selling like the armies. And I guess, is it true like there's no GW, there's no company that you buy the Trench Crusade models from? You have to either make them yourself or buy them from a 3D printer person? The gray pile of shame. In my case, black. Because if that's the case, then there is so much diversity and variety in quality of sculptors out there. You know what I mean? Like, I've been burned quite a few times by people. I feel like they're model agnostic. I've been burned quite a few times by like 3D recasters and 3D printer guys that are selling these Lost Kingdom models or stuff that look great, but when you get the product in the mail, it's like, oof. They're like smaller scale. They've got all these mold shifts and bad printing results. So I'm not really a fan of finding companies through 3D printers. Like, I would much prefer a company that I can get mad at, like Games Workshop, when they did Finecast. I've been really, really into 3D prints from Etsy and eBay. Yep, Dan, I have sunk so much money into 3D printers. I purchased a Sultanate Warband on eBay for like 40 bucks. Okay, cool. I think the best way to do it is to do like a test purchase. You know what I mean? And get, say, like, buy a couple of models, or you can't even trust like product photos anymore. If somebody has a product photo for what they're printing, because they could have been from years ago, or from when they used like a different kind of resin. That's what happened. I was looking at the product photos for some Lost Kingdom minis, and I was like, okay, this guy knows what he's doing. He's got a pretty good looking track record. And then yeah, the models came and they were doo-doo, baby. Definitely not calling Mantic out there, dude. Mantic had such a prime, they were so primed to like do well. Love Heresy. They were so primed to do well with their Kings of War range, because they were the first company to offer that alternative to Games Workshop. I remember when I first saw the dwarves, I was like, you mean I can get an entire battalion's worth of dwarves for like, I don't remember how much cheaper it was, but like, it was a huge discount, right? From getting like a battalion from Games Workshop at the time. And then they came out with the Skaven and the Undead, and it was like so exciting, but just the models weren't that great. And if the models aren't great, it's like, who cares if I'm saving money? These models are not fun to look at. They're not fun to paint. But I don't know, to each his own, because maybe I was just being an elitist at the time. I don't think I was. I don't like to think that I was, but maybe I was just so used to painting and building and playing with Games Workshop stuff. I'm sorry, guys. I'm rambling a lot. I do that to keep my brain focused on whatever I'm doing. I think I'm just gonna paint this entire army set with my golden maple brushes. It looks so good. Oh, okay. Thinking about buying a 3D printer since I've purchased so much stuff on eBay and Etsy, and there's always some kind of discrepancy. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you need a whole room to do a 3D printing. What Space Marine Legion are you painting? I'm painting Black Templars. They are a chapter, a successor chapter of the Imperial Fists Space Marine chapter now, but they used to be a Legion. I don't know if I could ever do any sizable force of Imperial Fists because I just hate painting yellow. But I've seen some pretty nice, like grimy, dirty yellow recently on Twitter and I've been recommended the Bamboo A1 Mini many times now. Chat got like 4 times, and every time it recommends you a different print. Yeah, ChatGPT is notorious for telling you what you want to hear, forgetting what it says sometimes. Okay, yep, Dan, I didn't know that. Thank you. Morning, everyone from Northern Michigan. Morning, Justin. Happy start of the week to everybody. I have a good feeling. I am manifesting that I'm going to finish this set and I'm going to sell it on eBay for $800. I'm putting that energy out into the universe. Beautiful Redemptor Dreadnought, beautiful Primaris Crusader Squad, an awesome Emperor's Champion, and a Marshal. It's going to be great. $800. Let's go, eBay. Let's go. All right, I'm going to move on to something else while that red dries. All right, yeah, Dan, have a good one. Okay, looks like up here there's some gribbly bits. I see some red. If they ain't pretty, I don't want them. Wait a minute, is the sarcophagus in silver? No, it looks like the sarcophagus is in black, but the viewport is silver. This Iron Cross is in silver. Yeah, and then I'm having to double check here with the artwork. What are you thinking to do on the base for this Redemptor? What's your go-to? My go-to is this basing material from Geek Gaming Scenics. I actually don't have it. It's do I have anything that I've done in it? Geek Gaming Scenics makes this really great basing material. It's like base ready. You just glue it put some Elmer's glue or some white glue on the bottom and you just dip it. I might add, just because there's so much stuff, I might add some rocks and extra stuff. I don't know. I was thinking of just doing like a grim dark, like rubble, gray and black, but I might just go completely different and do like an actual, what's it called? Verdant world. Like have them crusading in a world that's mostly mountains with grass and foliage and stuff. I might put some bushes and wildflowers. I don't know, maybe different. Just because they're all black armored, crazy war machines, fanatical. I don't know. That might be too crazy. The more I talk about it, the more I say it out loud, the sillier it sounds. I might just do like a black rubble. Now that I said it out loud, yeah. Is this the thing Henry Cavill does? It is. What's better, the heavy onslaught Gatling or macroplasma incinerator? I've seen them painted. I've seen this thing built with the plasma, but I'm building it to match the army set box art. So this one is using the assault cannon. Are Royal Marines in this? No, it's a Redemptive Dreadnought. I see I was working on my Hellbrute yesterday. Ah, okay. Get some good contrast, not the Black Rubble. I was a bit disappointed with the Hellbrute size. Yep, as we've all learned, Redemptors require a statue within range at all times for throwing at Aaron Hell. Hell yeah. I was thinking because it's because this is a Black Templars miniature, it might actually be cool if I could kit bash like a giant sword and shield on him. Make him look more like a giant honkin' knight or something. This is what I was gonna do. Paint up all these silver bits. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. I should just paint it up anyways. So the Imperial Guard are the closest to Royal Marines. However, they're standard humans versus the rest of the universe. Also with mind bullets, Tyranids, which will just eat anything. Yep. The Imperial Guard. Space Marines are huge compared to human, and a single round will leave you with not left. I'll tell you what I wasn't disappointed with. The Helldrake. I'm having a great time painting minis with my friends. The Helldrake is amazing. It's just got so much trim. But you know what? Like once you get painting it, put on a podcast or do something to take your mind off of the task and actually just do it. It goes by pretty fast. Any kind of trim, I just like to turn my brain off. Because your brain, like subconsciously, your brain knows what to do. It's like, okay, what are we doing? We're painting a Helldrake, so the trim is this color, this color, this color. All right, I got this. You can turn off now. just play some music, and your brain is just going to take over, get you in the flow state. Me and my girlfriend watch movies. Death becomes her classic. Poor Bruce Willis. Childhood icon, that man. Ginger snaps. You see the second one? Ginger snaps back. Ooh, good fun. All right, this is some hazard stripes. Hazard stripes are great. Love painting hazard stripes, and I'll show you how I do it. Averland Sunset is the first one. Now, doing hazard stripes on a wire, for me, is like one of the most fun, and like when you're still practicing and you haven't really got it, but you're still trying to learn how to do it, it's probably one of the more frustrating techniques to learn. You can do this with your Iron Warriors. All right, let's, oh man, I've been missing the chat. Let me look up, see what's going on. Thoughts on the release of the Terminus Decree? It's bull. I wish I had minis. I use cardboard discs with the name of the character and the weapons they're using. That's cool. That's one way to do it. It saves money. Wait, you're painting too? I'm painting Mycadians right now. Good job, rookie. Had an idea for a Warhammer horror game, if those don't exist, where you basically edit the alien horror and replace the xenomorph with the lictor or something. I think it'd be cool. Space Hulk, but I think it'd be cool to do like something like a Space Hulk with Tyranids, squad-based combat in a Space Hulk, and just play different armies, different units going up against them in the dark. You have like some regular Imperial Guardsmen that get all chewed up. Then you could have like some Terminators teleport in. Say, we're here to help puny human. Has some Mechanicus guys coming along to do whatever they're able to do to power up the Space Hulk. I think you could do have a lot of different mechanics, like a Call of Duty game, where there's like it jumps perspectives and everybody's doing something. Call me Games Workshop. I've got ideas. All right, now I'm going to take my black paint, and what I'm going to do is I'm only going to face the model like a certain way. I'm not going to be twisting and turning the model right now. I'm just going to keep it facing the way it's facing, and I'm going to paint as as thin as I can. Got a little bit too much paint there. Then I'm going to turn the model up so I can see where I've missed. And I'm going to carry that black line over and just connecting the line, or not connecting, but extending the line. That's the word I'm looking for. I'm extending. If you guys are enjoying the stream, I hope you consider becoming a channel member. That would support me in my mission to stay at home and paint minis all day with you guys. Perfect. Look at that. That's pretty close to perfect. I mean, it's not, but I don't think you're ever going to be perfect at anything, especially in this hobby. The minute you get good at something, they throw something else at you. Now, if you make a mistake, or I'm showing you like what would I do if I painted on a little too thick here? So you just wait for it to dry, and then you go back with the yellow, and then you try to equidistance it. So I'm going to do the same thing up here. Take my black paint. Membership is worth it, dudes. The only channel I actually feel I get my money's worth. Thanks, Tone. Thank you for the endorsement. If I had a janky brush, this would be like impossible to do. So it's still a little too thick, and that's okay. With hazard stripes, guys, you cannot like beat yourself up if it's too thick at the very beginning. Okay, so my trick for steady hands is that I'm bracing my forearms on the edge of my table. So my arms aren't shaking down to my fingers. And then I'm holding my model with one hand and I'm securing my palms like this. So they're like locked in. And then you know, you adjust however you want to reach the part of the model. But then by doing this, the only parts of your hands that are going to be shaking are your fingers. And if you're steady, locked in like this, and you're only doing short motions, even if your hands are shaking, take a deep breath. It'll give you enough time, usually, to do one brushstroke. You want to time it out. So if, like, I had notoriously shaky hands, especially if I'm hungry and my blood sugar is low, but to steady my hands, I found bracing once at the forearms, bracing once at the wrists, and then timing your brush strokes with your breaths and your breathing is gonna like tremendously help to get your brush strokes in your hands steady. Even if you don't have like quote unquote steady hands, you're gonna find that doing the breathing technique keeps your brush from like flipping around too much to where you don't want it to go. So breathe out, wait for your hands to steady, and just do one stroke. Don't try to go back and do a second and a third. A little bit too much. And the best thing about this painting technique, or any painting technique, is if you screw up, like I'm just human. I just told you what I do, and like I screwed it up. So we're all human, and we're all trying to get better. And you can't get better if you don't practice. Look at that. It looked horrible just 5 seconds ago. And now it's like after saying, okay, you know what? I screwed up. I'm going to go back. I'm going to paint over it. I nailed it. Fantastic. All right, now we're going to add. You can do like a brighter yellow. Flash Gits yellow might be too bright. I would go with Aerial yellow, but I'll show you what it looks like with a little bit of Flash Gits. Now the trick for highlighting your hazard stripes that I found is that you want to only highlight one side of the color band. So I'm going to go with the right side. I mean, at a certain point, you're just painting like right down the center because it's so, surface area is so small. And then when you're looking at your black, I would use like a Eshin gray or some dark gray color. So what I got, Skaven Blight Dinge, perfect. So I'm gonna stick to the black. Yeah, I'm not even gonna touch that actually. And the final touch is a little kiss of Celestra Gray. So this is going to create the illusion of a reflection from the light off of the plastic of the wire. So one line right where you think the light is most touching. And I mean, you could do like a art coat gloss varnish, but I think it's so much cooler to just create that illusion yourself. All right. Sorry, let's check out the chat. I feel like by painting the trim on my Corn World Eaters with Retributor armor. 3 points of contact. Yep. Man, EK676 is like a venerable long beard master of painting, given all the tips. I should have used Runelord Brass. Yep, Dan, that is correct. But you know what you could do? Retributor armor, it's really yellow. It is really yellow. If you can, I would just paint it over. Or just, you know, if you don't want to paint over all of it, paint over the parts of the model that are closest to the light. But first, I would hit that Retributor armor with like a known oil or an Agrax Earthshade, just to dull down that bright yellow. It looks so gold. It looks so bright gold. That Runelord Brass is a more muted color. What is your favorite paint color? My favorite paint color is Corvus Black at the moment. Usually it's Rackhearth Flesh, but Corvus Black is such a beautiful black that looks really nice. It still adheres to like the black color, what a black color should be. All right, the one from the past, and hold on, it's my camera. Tone, and the one from the past. I'm just gonna jump ahead and write something on the chest plate. What do you guys think? What great word should I put on there? Tone 415 and the one from the past. Whoever answers first. Mine is Castellan Green. Oh yeah, Castellan Green is a great color too because of Cadia. And you know what? I use Castellan Green Gun. That's great, Patrick. Hey, if you're a channel member, then you can. I would actually listen to that. That's a great suggestion, though. Big gun. I actually use Castellan Green for the War Machine colors and the like heavy weapons teams. Anything that looks like it would be standard military equipment that my Death Corps of Krieg receive, because I think that would be a fun. Like that's a fun little nod to how like they're all equipped by the same like government branch. So they've got the same color war machines. Uh-oh. That's my baby. Shh. My babies are at the point where they're still like crying in the middle of the night. It's so sad. My wife is really the only one who can settle them. I didn't paint these fingers because I didn't know they were supposed to be the same color as the armor. So I'll show you my black edge highlighting technique that I like to use. Oh, and how do I paint? What color is this flamer going to be? Silver, red, silver. Okay. This model's hitting me with all these surprises. Get good. Love it. Get good. That's a cool chaos knife. All right, so using my size 2/0 golden maple detail brush. wonder if I can zoom in a little bit. Oh, hey, there you go. Take out as much of the shade as possible. Here we go. Let's start with the T and the G. That G's a little messed up. I think the G has to just be like almost like a C with a little. Patrick, I know I've got a 005, but I wanted to practice with my brushwork. Reminder to the future owner to paint more. I think if I when I when I list this on eBay, I'm gonna say that it's Sir Gitgood, Sir Gitgood, his brother Gitgood. They'll be like, why does your wait a minute? What is this dread? I'm paying you how much for this dreadnought, and it says Gitgood on it. I was like, no. It's I have a rich history for this character. Oh man, see you guys. Channel membership has its perks. All right, so I'm gonna take my base color was Rakarth Flesh for this, so I'm just gonna take some Rakarth Flesh now. And what I'd like to do is clean up this second G and repaint it. I'm not a great freehander, which is why I like to practice. Practice makes perfect. Honored brother, get good. Venerable ancient, get good. Oh man. You know what, while we're here, why don't we also do these purity seals? Chronicling the life and achievements of Venerable Get Good. It was in the year M41-937, the Venerable Get Good held the line against hordes of orcs and other unsavory xenos. Could you imagine Charles Dance narrating the audiobook? And when he held the line at the great fortress monastery, Venerable Ancient Gitgood knew that his brothers were not far off. Scribbly, scribbly. All right, you make a mistake. Again, just take the previous color, in this case, Rakarth Flesh, and flip it back down. A pebble for each was thrown. Hordes of Helldrakes descended upon the monastery, and Brother Gitgood held them all off by hurling statues at them all day. Anybody popping into the chat is going to be like, what is this? What am I watching? This is weird. All right. Enemy comms, don't let me near you. I did not. The only experience I have with that show is what I've seen them release on YouTube. All right, we're gonna do some work on the armor. So I'm taking my Night Lord's blue, and we'll start with this plate here. What color do you use on the purity seals? Just Rakarth's flesh right now. I've currently only got my Redemptor's legs and torso built. When I get home from school and marching band practice, I'm going to work on his arms and see if I have time to paint him tonight. That's the spirit, Walnut. That's the spirit. I got to tell you, I had like a mental block with my last Redemptor Dreadnought. I had to paint one for a Blood Angels commission. This is way too much paint on my brush. That's okay. And I just didn't want to. It looked like too hard to assemble, too complex. Every time I looked at the instructions, I just rage quit. I threw up my hands and I was like, I'm gonna do something else instead, like anything else. I'll do anything else but build this stupid robot. And with anything in this hobby, the minute I turned off my brain and I got started and I was just like, I'm gonna turn on some music and I'm just gonna just go. That's when everything turned around for me. And it's like I wish more people would do that. I think so many of us just give up on something because we don't like how it's going. We're not sure how to move forward. And oh, Tone, that would be awesome, dude. DM me or send me a message in on the Discord, because I've always been curious about Warhammer, Warhammer TV. They look like they're really going into the content creation now and doing lots of stuff with their studios, so good for them. But yeah, that would be awesome, dude. If we could just turn off that part of our brain, that insecurity, indecision, that fear of moving forward. And I think, you know what? I think the huge problem is, that's not any of our faults, but it's the fact that these things cost so much now. It's such an exclusive product to get into. Oh, this is Fenrisian Gray, if anyone's wondering, as the highlight color. So, like, we spend so much money on it, and when you have it, but it's unbuilt, it's still in the shrink wrap, it could be anything. It could be the next Golden Demon winner. The potential for it to be anything is limitless. It's once we take it out of the plastic wrap and get building and start painting it, that's when the timelines collapse and converge on each other and you're stuck with whatever you paint. But seriously, if we just got rid of that fear and we do this, get ood, then I think that would get rid of a lot of everybody's fear. Okay, nice. As a White Scars man, I'm sometimes jealous how less of a pain, yes, other chapters are to paint. Okay, I have to check out Angels of Death. Yo, I was get to Redemptor, but I'm going Necron, so I plan on painting in my Necron scheme. Oh, that's pretty cool. Are Dreadnoughts like smaller knights? You could say that. Whereas a knight is like a living pilot over a giant machine. A dreadnought is basically a space marine that's been pretty much killed in battle and put into a sarcophagus coffin, kept alive barely, and just used as a war machine now. As a 30k World Eaters player, I feel the pain. White Scars, kinda, they are mechs that mortally injured. Yep, So they're Imperial Knights, but the pilots are crippled. Well, Imperial Knights are like Imperial citizens born from nobility, right? They're born to be knights, and isn't that like their thing from the noble houses? Look at that, get good. Whereas a dreadnought is a space marine. It could be any space marine that has proven himself and been mortally wounded in battle. All right, what are we doing now? The legs, the feet, the toes. Ah, okay, when you saw this thing. In Space Marine 2, I thought it was the Imperator Titan. Yeah, no, this is just like a regular. They're larger than a Space Marine, but they're nowhere near as big as a Titan or even like a Knight. So again, I'm doing Night Lord's Blue as the first coat, or the first highlight color, and then following this with. You know what? Maybe I'll keep this. Maybe I'll keep this guy just to remind me that we all need to get good. We all need to not be afraid of painting. You spent $80 on that box of whatever. Just paint that thing up, son. Paint it up. Get good. I don't want to mess it up. Get good. You can watch a YouTube video, hang out with Warboss Tay, get on the Discord. Thank you, Tone. Awesome, bro. Appreciate it. Mike, yes, Black Templars. A dreadnought can be put inside the foot of an Imperial. Yep, that's right. That's cool. Where'd you buy this? I got this set a while ago on eBay. It's a Black Templars army set. So if you guys don't know what it is, it's the Redemptor Dreadnought. This guy, a Primaris squad, which is 10 guys, a Emperor's Champion, which is a character here, and a Marshal, which is another character. Yeah. This army set also came with some data cards, all the transfer sheets, and this limited edition codex. This is from 9th edition, that's why. It comes with the build instructions on the back. I'm using this as my guide to painting the miniature right now. I was like, why aren't, there's like a lot of this that doesn't look painted yet. And it's because I think I just kind of glossed over which areas need this edge highlighting. Boy, I hate edge highlighting. Edge highlighting is the pits. I think that's a little too thick. Subtle, subtle, a light touch with most edge highlighting. Oh, I haven't even started on his butt. Whatever's going on back here. Thanks for the hearts. Thanks for the likes, guys. I think, okay, we'll get to that in a second. Keep getting distracted. I'm using the flat of my brush to do these because the edges are so sharp and the angle is okay. If the angle is a little bit flatter like this, then I'll use the tip of my brush. If it's a nice sharp angle with a steep like fall away, then I can use the flat of my brush and just kind of drag it down. Like if you've ever sharpened the knife or used a whetstone, it's like you put the paint on the edge of your brush or the flat edge of your brush and just slowly wick it down while you drag the brush bristles away. Guys, I can't believe I might finish this tonight. I don't get ahead of myself, but I'm pretty happy with how we're going. Does anyone else think that? Nice. Yep, this is the one in the recent shorts. Yep, that I've been talking about. Thank you, Ian. Appreciate it. 90s Warhammer art was the best. Everyone okay? Everyone vibing until the church starts walking. From what I know about 40k lore, Sanguinius equals the Emperor, big psyker boy. Primarchs are dudes like Calgar, Chaos, the Necrons, and Tyranids. Oh, my friend, my sweet summer child. Combine Hunter, my sweet summer child. It's a little bit more complicated than that. Gonna get into the chapter-specific Space Marine characters from a few weeks ago. Yeah, where they dropped that reveal, and we've heard nothing since. I will be getting Vulcan. Yep, of course, the one from the past is a huge Salamander fan. Okay, Combine Hunter. Whew. Let's zoom out a little bit and let's talk. Okay, so the Emperor is at the top, right? And after the Horus Heresy, he's been sitting on the Golden Throne. He made the Primarchs, the 20 Primarchs that turned into 18 mysteriously. So Sanguinius, Robut Gilman, all of the Primarchs, the good ones, the 9 good ones that stayed loyal, the 9 ones that turned traitor and became demons or whatever, he created them all. So the Emperor, his sons, the 18 Primarchs, and then Chaos equals the Necrons and Tyranids. I don't think that's right. Chaos wants to take over the galaxy. I think the Necrons are like an ancient empire that had some bad stuff happen to them. And the Tyranids are just big bugs that like to eat. So they're not good or bad. They're just carnivorous parasites that want to convert everything into food, biomass. One day I'm gonna own my own girly pop dreadnought. That's the spirit. I've never played, but I've been thinking about getting into some orcs because I like the lore. That is how I got into the game. Love me some orcs and goblins and some space orcs. They just look so wacky and fun. What chapter are you playing, though? I don't have a chapter that I play. Good is a strong term for all but Vulcan. The only mistakes we make for the Emperor are happy accidents. That's right. Brother Bobicus Rossicus. Be very cool if you paint up the plasma cannon for the person. Yep. Tyranids are just silly. I have faith GW will do something loyalist with the Fulgrim clone. Oh, man. Tone, that is I think, a dream that I think a lot of us have had since reading the Fulgrim book. Like, whoa, wouldn't it be so cool? Because what a redemption arc that would be. The only good guys in the setting are Necrons. Hey, Silent Assassin, how are you, my friend? Chaos are the evil boys. Yep. Salamanders, Black Templars, Imperial Fists, and World Eaters. Oh, boy, Combine Hunter. I gotta find you a wiki page. If you look at the Lexicanum, they have a lot of great articles, and like wiki pages pull from everything. So salamanders are the furthest from chaos. I like salamanders because they're so... Are you trolling me, Combine Hunter? Because salamanders are so like caring and thoughtful for their human buddies, allies. Ankafade. Yep, I should add some transfers. Are you following a chapter's colors? Yep. Doing okay, mate. Planning to go to sleep soon, but stumbled across your channel. Thanks, buddy. Thought salamanders burned imperial children. No. Can't tell if bro is trolling or genuinely. I know, me neither. I respectfully refuse to answer any more lore questions and refer you to the Lexicanum. There's just too much lore. Like, I was like, as I started talking about everything, I was like, you can't tell anyone during a live in like a brief one-shot answer about the Imperium, the Empire, and Horus Heresy. Yeah, that's right, Sir Get Good. Sir Get Good. What is a decent start for brushes and paints? Things like that. I have not started, but was wondering if 3K would be an okay. So, oh, $3,000? The algorithm brought me. Sometimes the YouTube algorithm is good. Honorable brother, get good. Yeah, this was suggested by my channel members. So if you become a channel member, then you will also be able to suggest what I write on purity seals. Oh man. Okay, let's do some lights. So I used to really like the old masterclass articles in the White Dwarfs. I thought they were really fantastic. I'm going to start with Corn Red. They taught me to do the gems by doing a crescent moon, starting from the upper left and going to the bottom right. The brushes that I'm using are golden maple brushes. I got them linked in the description. And if you order them, use the discount code WART, W-A-R-T, and you will get 10% off of your entire order. But the brushes that I'm using are golden maple detail brushes. There's a whole set that's been curated for me, and I really like it, and I think you guys will too. Appreciate it, Tones. Appreciate it very much. I think the Grey Knights could take off the Imperial. Do you think 40K is too expensive? Yeah. It could be. The Baby Bjorn. It could be. Okay, so now I'm going to do a thinner slice of Mephiston Red. Hopefully you can still see the Corn Red. There we go. And since I've got the Mephiston Red, I'm also going to be highlighting the red areas on the model. Yeah, if you guys stay tuned and hang out for a little bit longer, I'm going to do some transfers, and I think that's going to really add to how nice this model looks. Kind of picking and choosing. I'm not going to paint everything on stream. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. Any tips for planning paint jobs? The baby carrot is goofy. Hello, Eskel. For planning paint jobs? You mean for, I thought the green, okay, now I'm using Evil Sun Scarlet. Okay, so I use my planner, but you could use just like a notebook. So Evil Sun Scarlet, the progression was Corn Red, Mephiston Red, Evil Sun Scarlet. Doesn't look like much, but that's okay. So you still get a little bit of black paint in the upper right corner. Then I'm going to shift the color from red to a little bit of an orangey red. If I can find my Troll Slayer orange, that's the color I really like. Look at that. Ask and you shall receive. Okay, Troll Slayer Orange really changes the tone, and I think for like a light like this, it actually benefits. So I'm going to do just a thinnest line. Just like that. Then I'm going to take a white paint. So I could use my Pro Acryl White for this, or you could use like a Corax White. And then we're just going to dot the upper right-hand corner. I'm also going to use this Corax white. I'm going to just use Corax white to paint the missiles. My Uncle Bob is a troll. First I was like, oh, this guy honestly wants to know about Warhammer lore. And then I was like, nobody who knows this much about Warhammer could be this wrong about it. My troll senses started tingling. All right, and then a little dot of Corax white in the upper right-hand corner. Boop. And there you go, a little light, little red light. I'm also gonna take this Corax white and yeah, I think I'm gonna do a very light application onto all of the white armor plates. And like I did for the like the sackcloth, burlap sackcloth, I'm gonna be doing as light of brush strokes as I can here. I really like putting some of the technical stone. Yep, it's good. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. Yeah. So that looks pretty good. It almost looks like a Grey Knight. Thanks, Mitch. Sanguinius is the Emperor. Calgar is the Primarch, and they fight chips like the Necrons and Evil Space Marines. Yep, that's right. Can't believe I actually thought this guy was for real. Okay, let's move on to doing the shoulder pads. I'm gonna try using one of the dry brushes in my set here, just to try it out and see what kind of effect we're gonna have. So this is the size 4 dry brush from Golden Maple. It comes in the same set as the other brushes that I told you about. It's a 7 brush set. If you click the link in this video description, it will take you to the Golden Maple website. And the promo code is WART, W-A-R-T. And that's gonna give you 10% off of your purchase. Yes, I agree. Hey, Kathy. So I'm gonna be doing Corax white. I think I really like the Pro Acryl, but I think Bold Titanium white is gonna be a little too bright. Can you guys believe nothing of this was painted when I started the stream? This whole thing wasn't painted. And now, like, I know I still gotta highlight the red and do some stuff on his butt, but he's pretty far along. Look how fast you can knock out these 2 plates. And it looks like you did 100 brush strokes with a regular brush. I love dry brushing. What are your opinions of the Adeptus Mechanicus? When's the last entry in the Emperor? When did you start the stream? I started the stream 109 minutes ago. I think that's a new record for painting one of these. Just whip through it, man. Actually, no, I take that back. I did a little bit of edge highlighting. I forgot. My father-in-law came over. He made us steaks. And him and my mother-in-law got to watch the babies for a little bit while I got some painting done. All right. Still, I'm pretty impressed. How you doing, Ankafade? Nice to see you. It's funny, like, just when you think you're done highlighting, you check the box art or you look at it, you turn the model a different way, and it's like, oh my gosh. I have all this still. I don't know if you guys are following my shorts, but I'm trying to get back to asking the daily questions. Yesterday's daily question was, who is your favorite fictional villain? Had a lot of great answers. Somebody suggested Hans Gruber, which I think is terrific. I think Hans Gruber is great. Somebody said Sauron, which is like, oh yeah, I should have said Sauron. I'm a follower of Zinch. My trolling has 10 layers of plot to it. The beautiful man, you and Combined Hunter should work together. I think you could come up with some beautiful trolls. So what do you guys think? Who's your favorite fictional villain? What do they say about villains too? Like the best villains are the ones that believe they're the hero. I said Logain. I thought Logain from Dragon Age Origins is a great villain that like you initially hate because of what he does in the beginning, and then throughout the game I just found myself growing more and more sympathetic to him. I love Dragon Age Origins, man. I played Dragon Age Origins until like the disc was no longer usable. I love that game so much. I platinumed that game. I ran through all of the origin stories. I got all the DLC. God, I love that game. Tragic what happened to that franchise. Favorite villain, Lucius. Nice. I wish Warhammer Fantasy and 40K were the same universe. You know, I used to think that would be cool, and now I'm glad they're not the same universe. It allows them to play in their own separate sandboxes. It makes me think like Age of Sigmar should have been its own thing. It shouldn't have tried to piggyback off of Warhammer Fantasy, because that's where it all went wrong. I'm using Fenrisian Gray as my extreme highlight. And so we're just gonna pick out the lines on these vents. Sorry if I'm missing any questions. I'm trying to focus on this dreadnought, and I'm looking less and less at the chat. But if I miss something important, please just retype it. Sucks that they nuked Fantasy. The beautiful man, that's what I've been saying for years, and everybody's like, oh, get over it. Fantasy's gone, get over it. And I'm like, no, I can't get over it. It was so good. They nuked it. The main villain in 40K is the friends we made along the way. Oh, EK. I think that's the winner right there. The main villain is all the friends we made along the way. Yeah, that's right. Warhammer Total War. They're like, you know what? You know what, Games Workshop? This is what you need to do. And then they took the setting and they revived it and they made it awesome, and they added in Kislev and everything. Thoughts on the new Grey Knights lore? Hate it. What's that Sex and the City, that Anthony meme where they're going wedding dress shopping? Hate it. Yep, I agree. Wake up, babe. Fantasy is back. Fantasy is back, and it's all overpriced now. Some stuff they bring back, like the War Wagon. It looks so good. You know, I'm not even gonna start doing this until I get some transfers down. I think our boy is ready. What do you think? I think our boy is ready. He's growing up so fast. Okay, so I've got my micro set. And where is my transfer sheet? I'm gonna do him just like the box cover. Frieza, nice. Age of Sigmar is weird, like everything is connected via portals. Yeah, all the realms, right? I'm like, you know what? I'm not even gonna. I thought I could, guys. I'm sorry, I can't. I can't get into the lore. It's just too high fantasy. I think that's what it is. The reason why I liked Warhammer Fantasy, the lore in that, was because it was low fantasy. It was gritty. It was dark, and it was just more interesting to me. Age of Sigmar is too high fantasy. Everything is got too much whimsy to it. Stormcast Eternals. Get out of my face. We got some damn pretty minis. Yep, that is true. That is true. What is the name of your Contemptor Dreadnought? This is a Redemptor Dreadnought? So dumb. These names are so dumb. He's a Black Templar Dreadnought, and yeah, Redemptor Dreadnought, right? All right, so I'm gonna be box art accurate. So we're gonna go with the white cross with the red flourishes. We're gonna go with this sword and black crosses on both sides. Campaign badge and a chain, another little black thing over there. Okay, it's gonna be pretty good. We'll get started with 2 shoulder ones. I think we're too trusting as a community. You know what I mean, chat? I think, especially when you see somebody pop in that's like, looks like they're genuinely asking about lore. It's like 35 years old, so yeah, I think 40K might stick around. Yep. Get the smoke mod, Empire guns. Oh, nice. The smoke mod. I don't even like Chaos. All right. Now, I have a huge problem with Forge World transfers. I think they don't go on smoothly enough. Let's see how these Games Workshop ones do. Or just that you have to wait. Like it takes a long time when you get a Forge World transfer wet. You have to let it sit before the transfer paper lifts off of the backing paper. Yeah, this one is much better. Okay, so transfer tip. If you're going to be doing transfers, you got one hand on the tweezers with the transfer on it. Your other hand is holding the brush that you're going to push down. Don't try to paint the transfer off of the paper. This is how you get folded transfers and you waste your transfers. What you do is kind of edge it off of the paper and then press and hold it down in place while you slide the backing paper away. This is going to ensure that you never waste a transfer, and it's going to look really good. And if Venerable Brother Get Good cares about anything, it's about you getting good. Now I'm going to slightly tease it over. And I've got my micro set here, so it can kind of shift around on the shoulder pad. Also soften it up just a little bit. Micro set is good, but once you know where you want your transfer to be, you really can't move it around too much. There we go. That's about centered, I think. All right, let's do the same. Same thing here. I'm going to use some micro set first so that the transfer can move around. You could also do like a gloss varnish onto the part that you're painting. I've seen people do that, but you don't have to. Salamanders are slimy. Nice. All right, so yeah, like I said, Games Workshop transfers, they seem to come off the transfer paper a lot quicker. The Forge World transfers, for some reason, they take a long time, like almost a minute to get off of the backing paper. And if you try to do this, like brush a little bit of the corner off, then it's not going to work. Again, press down and slide away, slide the paper away with your free hand. Now, because I've got that micro set underneath, I'm able to zhuzh it around a little bit. There we go. Let's do the front. Hey, we're at the point chat where there is 100 of you in the chat right now. That means that I'm probably not going to see if you send something in the chat unless you send it with a super chat. Then if you really want me to see it, if not, you could just ask it again, I guess. But yeah, if there's something you want to say or you want me to see, then a super chat will probably get my eyes on it real quick, and I would be super thankful. Horace did nothing wrong. You know who did nothing wrong? Not Magnus. Which of the Trader Primarchs is the most sympathetic? I don't think it was Magnus. There's somebody else that I was looking at. Graphite powder and electroplating gold. Stream completed, Salamander. All right. Press and lift away. Boop. Yeah, and if you guys join and become channel members, then you'll get access to all of my digital downloads and also be able to interact with me directly in the stream and influence which way the content goes. Yeah, Morty, Slim Richmond, channel member Slim Richmond, you're absolutely right. Morty was kind of roped into it, I think. It's hard to be sympathetic with him because he's such a stinky boy, and everything I've seen of him is that he's just disagreeable and just a grumpy, stinky guy. But the more I learn about him, the more I really feel like he got done dirty by the writing as well as like most of his depictions in the setting. Angron, yeah, he had it rough. He's always had it rough. Poor Angron. All right, chat, I'm going to be doing... Oh, I don't know why I'm trying to cut it. I'm cutting into my felt pad here. I'm going to be doing the chains on the knee pad. So I want to make sure I cut enough, but not too much. This is going to be fun. I've never tried using these before. Let's measure it. It looks like I'm just a little bit too much, but that's okay. That's all right. Let's go with it. I was going to say Magnus. I liked reading Magnus's story too in, was it Thousand Suns? I understand the lore now. Nice. Time for me to get some sleep. Good night, Silent Assassin. The next time you see this Dreadnought, he will be finished. Dreadnoughts are fueled by red Powerade. So what I'm going to do for this is I'm going to press down at the bottom and slide the transfer backing paper away. There's a little bit too much, but I'm gonna see if I can. If I can, I'll just wait until this thing dries a little bit, and then I will fold this over here. Yeah. Just inch it over wire. That actually looks cool, where it looks like the link is like halfway. It's like half of a link. Oh, thank you so much for the super chat. Anchor Faith, thank you. Heading off, pay my own stuff. Thanks for the great stream. Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much. All right, Tone. Thanks again. Appreciate it. And I will check out some good stuff on Warhammer TV. Thanks to you. Oh, thank you so much, Anchor Fade. Some blood spatter. Yeah, Black Templars could use some. All right, let's keep the ball rolling. Another campaign badge. Let's do the campaign badge here. That's so cool. Thank you, Anchor Fade. All right. This is a Redemptor Dreadnought, a Primaris Redemptor Dreadnought. I did not print it. It's a plastic miniature. It's like a Space Marine Primaris Dread, right? And it came in this Black Templars kit. Let's see if I can. There we go. Boop. I am running low on microset. Watchers in the dark. Why are they tolerated? They literally can't get rid of them. They're like 40k Jawas. Man, I'm having a great time. Let's do the sword. Seems like they're asking for a Persian. Hello, Tuan. Thank you very much. Y'all know the deep war. I don't know what's trolling right now and who's trolling the chat and who's honestly asking about stuff. You kids, I turned my back for 1 second. All right, see, I made the mistake of not pressing that. Like I actually tried to paint this transfer on, so this is an example of how things can go wrong. I'm gonna try to extricate myself from this predicament by taking a hobby knife and holding the transfer in place while I move my brush. Whew. That could have been bad news. I would have lost my only sword transfer. See, they don't tell you this kind of stuff. Like when they, I guess you gotta learn it by watching YouTubers. The deep warp is something that's so bad that the chaos gods are scared of it. Ooh, it's a real thing. I did not know that. What else can we do to make this guy look more awesome? How about we give him something else? Let's give him a skull on his right shoulder pad. I better see you all in my members area tomorrow with little badges next to your name. I'm putting out great content for you guys. Now, I'm grateful that you guys are just here. Sometimes I do these streams and like the one from the past will show up and some other people and then I have to leave like because my baby starts crying. So I guess either they're getting old enough now where they'll sleep through more of the night or who knows, but I'm just glad I get to hang out with you guys. Oh no. There we go. I'm gonna let this dry and then I'm gonna hit it with some micro sol and then a EK, thank you very much. And then a matte varnish to dull down the shine, but that won't be till later. All right, let's see what this guy's got going on also. Oh, okay. A black Templar's cross. He's got on his knee a black Templar's cross. That looks pretty good. Look at that. Yeah, but these are too big. It's gotta be a smaller one. Okay, I'm gonna take some creative liberties with these transfers. Put this on his knee pad, as well as Templar's cross. Ooh, maybe a gold Templar's cross. No, it's gotta be black to show up off the white. Okay. Chat is bumping. Too much water. Hold in place and slide. Nice. Okay, last one. This skull with the little red Templar's cross on it. I think that's gonna be pretty good. I can't do it, guys. I can't kick him. He's he's causing so much fun in the chat. I can't. I've never had an honest to goodness troll hanging out for so long before. Usually they just get bored and or they'll say something like really off the wall offensive and I'm forced to boot him, but Combine he's earned his place. At least for now. I mean, he could still say something that gets him booted, but at least he's keeping things entertaining. All right, I'm gonna try to replicate the, it looks pretty good. I'm gonna try to replicate the script work. It looks like an M. The warp hullabaloo. Yeah. I don't know if I can replicate. Oh, look at that. That's some fancy script. It looks like actual cursive. Yeah, why not? You know what? Nothing ventured, nothing gained, right? Let's do it, bros and sisters. Brothers and sisters. I'm going to keep my book next to me here so that I can use it as a reference point. Okay, I gotta use my 2/0. I think I'll do it in Celestra Gray. Yes. Everything you just said, Combine Hunter, is exactly right. All right. Yeah, EK's been painting for a while. You gotta listen to what he says. You gotta trust him. All right. Looks like there's like a little flourish on the M. The middle staff has like a little. Then the... Chat, I'm like pretty stoked. That looks pretty good. EK is the God Emperor. That looks pretty close. Okay, there's little flourishes at the bottom that I missed, and it's a little sloppy, but I'm pretty pleased with how that looks. I'm gonna clean it up with some black. Holy beans, that is pretty good for me. You might be looking at it and thinking like, ugh, it's a little too thick. Thank you, the one from the past. It's the brushes, man. Like, I know I'm getting a commission for every set that I sell, but seriously, I've never painted with a good set of brushes that is actually like able to do the work that I want it to do. And I know I'm not gonna win any golden demons and stuff, but I think this is some of my finest work here. Okay. Well, thanks, Combine Hunter. I hope we were of some help to you, and best of luck with invest all of your studies into the lore, the rich and wonderful lore where the Emperor is sanguineous. Just taking some black paint now and I'm cleaning up the lines so they're a little, not as thick. Thanks, Patrick. And just watering down that black paint I added. It's not as, I had it on my wet palette, but it still looks pretty thick. All right. Thank you for all the hearts. Whoever's throwing up the hearts in my chat, thank you very much. Oh, EK, I guess you're sanguineous now. The Primarch of the Blood Angels and the Salamanders. The Salamander Space Marines. Okay, now I'm gonna start just doing some light cleanup work. I'm glad I did the transfers on camera. Normally I'd be like, oh, I gotta finish highlighting the weapon, I gotta finish painting everything in order, but I don't think it would be nearly as fun for everybody hanging out just to watch me doing all that boring stuff. Would have been so boring I might have actually been paying attention to what Combined Hunter was talking about. All right, one application of Corn Red, and then now I'm doing my first of 2 Mephiston Red highlights, and I'm just blocking out the colors. I almost want it to seem like the paint is chipping from being on Crusade for so long. So even though this is a detail brush, I'm gonna try to do random paint strokes. That's the word I'm looking for, random paint strokes. And I'm not really blending the colors like I normally would. For the weapon, I want it to kind of stand out as being almost like a sloppy paint job to compensate for being out on Chaos Salamanders. What is the best color for Dark Angels? Deathwing, I actually like a nice Rackhearth Flesh shaded with Seraphim Sepia and Agrax Earthshade in the deepest recesses, then highlighted back up with Rackhearth Flesh, add a little bit of Wraithbone, basically like stick to the ivory tones. I don't know, what do you think, EK? I'm sure you've painted some Deathwing in your day. Xandri Dust and Ushakti Bone with Sepia would be my go-to. Okay. I can see that. I'm pretty pleased. Like, I haven't done any washes on this and kind of don't even want to. I know it looks kind of washed out to you guys, but I think I have to really pick and choose where I'm going to be adding my shades at this point. I'm really just starting to look for, like, selectively, like, what did I miss? Where do I need to go back and tighten up the highlights? Yeah, all of those bone colors, Ushabti bone, Screaming Skull. Nice. I should hit this gun with known oil. It looks really flat. You know what I'm gonna do? Yeah, let's do a known oil wash on that gun. Oh, you know what I gotta do is I gotta put in some silver on his back parts. I keep ignoring his butt. His butt is of no interest to me. And he's like, paint my smokestacks. I've got all this metal gribblies back here. Nobody's painting my smokestacks. And I gotta do his yellow lights. I think, I don't know. Avalon Sunset might be too yellow for his headlamp. Add some grime. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Let me finish this and then I'll... Actually, you know what I need to do is, I was looking at the art and I couldn't decide if it was like white paint or really light gray paint on all these rivets or if it was silver. So I think I'm gonna go with silver. Nice, Patrick. Hey, I just want to thank you guys again for hanging out. Just your being here, even if you don't donate anything or do any other engagement, even if you're not like in the chat or anything like that. YouTube is tracking your watch time. So like they're trying to figure out, you know, what you guys like, what you're into, and they want to shop whatever you're watching to other people who might be interested in the same thing. So thank you for being here and hanging out. I appreciate it, and I hope you guys have a great week coming up. It's Monday. It's another week, another chance to get it right. I'd be super happy if this video, if you're watching it after the fact, after it's live streamed, if this has motivated you to pick up the brush and start painting something. That's what we want. More painted models. haven't even started on his hand flamer. Oh, goodness gracious. Man, I am super proud of all my work tonight. So cool. What's his name? So get good. My plans on decorating the base is to use some Geek Gaming Scenics base ready scatter. That's it. It's nothing. It's not going to be anything fancy. I wanted to just kind of. I wanted to emphasize the model and not detract from it. That's what I'm going for. I can't get the gun of my Tyranids. All right, let's do a fast paint application on this gun. And we'll get to the base, and then I'm gonna call it a day. Not gonna do anything too fancy. Just want to show that there is a weapon here. $110 people in the chat right now. This is the most people I've ever had watching my live streams. What a momentous occasion. My name is Warboss Taya. I've been painting miniatures on YouTube since 2009, November 2009, when I was just a little boss. And I used YouTube as a way to keep myself accountable, hold myself accountable for painting up my friend's dwarves that he was commissioning me to paint. And it's been quite the ride since then. Like, no joke, I was seriously like in the Wild West, final frontier of YouTube creators. It was a different time. Brother Get Good has gotten pretty good, if you ask me. He's been blessed. He's been blessed by all of your presence. The saga of Brother Get Good continues in his new armored form. And what do you think for grime going down the bolts? Agrax? I don't have any of the fancy stuff like AK streaking grime, or I've got some villainy inks, but they're at my in-laws' place. I don't have them with me here. So I don't have any oils or acrylics. What could I do? What could I do? I mean, he's pretty good right now, if you ask me. Look at that script work, motherfuckers. Passes the 2-foot rule. Hey, you know what? My whole philosophy is high tabletop standard. If you don't have any oils, Agrax works. Yep, that's what I'm thinking too. Seraphim Sepia, I've got that. Where's my Agrax? Oh, you know what I did? I took some Lamian medium and mixed up some Rhinox hide. That actually works really good. I wonder if I could just do it with water. Rhinox hide and then Mornfang Brown, but I don't have any Mornfang Brown. My last pot of Mornfang Brown dried up on me. I don't know if I want the oily finish of Agrax on the grime. And also, I don't want him to look dirty. I kind of want him to look, I don't want him to look pristine, but I don't want him to look like a rusty guy. Just a hint Okay, so I'm gonna experiment with Rhinox Hide first. Death Coffin. Watered down, super watered down. Just the impression of grime. Yes. Yeah, baby. It's called a dreadnought. It's a walking coffin with what is left of a space marine inside. Black Templar. Jordy, thank you. Brother, get good. I'm gonna add a little bit of, it looks like they did some light weathering, battle damage. Very light, like little scratches and nicks. And it looks like they did that with just the Fenrisian Gray. So let's copy it. Yeah, it looks like there's a little bit of a brownish sepia wash. Interesting. Interesting, interesting. I'm gonna use some Fenrisian Gray to do some scratches. Yeah, it's fine. Thank you, Shane. Appreciate that. I had no desire to be a painter when I first got into the hobby. I just wanted to play my orcs and goblins and just do silly things on the tabletop. And I was kind of shamed into it by one of the local players. I don't want to say shamed, that's not the right word. He wasn't trying to make me feel bad, but I kept showing up with my metal orcs and goblins because most armies were like pretty predominantly pewter, and you'd have maybe a couple units in plastics. When I first started, boy, most of your army, if you wanted anything, you had to get them in metal. And I would always show up with my orcs and goblins like shaking and flying about and getting all scratched up in the bins. And the ones that I did paint, I didn't know how to paint, so they looked terrible and they weren't varnished or sealed. So they would always, I would take them out at the games and they would be all scratched up with their arms falling off. And I'd be like, oh, does anybody have any super glue for my metal orcs and goblins? All right, now what I'm gonna do is take some of this Rhinox hide, straight Rhinox hide, and do some chipping on the white. Did you add the caution stripes behind the gun? I did, Ben, I did. You're talking about these? I did. Averland Sunset, then lines of black, and then I cleaned up the lines of black with some more Averland Sunset, and then I highlighted the yellow with Flash Gets Yellow. I highlighted the black with Storm Vermin Brown, or Eshin Gray, I can't remember, and then I did a line of Celestra Gray across it to simulate, what's the word I'm looking for? A shine, a little glow. Okay, and then we'll take some Corax White to mess with the black cross. I'm mainly looking, like EK said, to pass the 2-foot rule. So I don't want to do too much, just like general light scraping and scratching. Fine Cast was the new hotness when I started. Thank God that didn't last. Oh my gosh. And remember how they kept trying to justify how it was so bad and why it was so bad. Like, oh yeah, it's a premium product. It's so good that all you have to do if you have any miscasts or warped whatever is just let Games Workshop know and they'll quietly replace it. Like, we can't let anybody know that this product is doo-doo. Like, if you call and like, hey, I ordered a Ogre Firebelly, and oh, yep, say no more. Just let us know where we can ship the replacement. Say no more. I don't know why Games Workshop's customer service in my head now sounds like it's a Monty Python sketch. Say no more, governor. Well, guys, I wasn't expecting to be adding this much weathering, but you know what? When in Rome, A fine mess. Somebody told me that my Black Templars, because my Night Lords are French, and my White Scars are caricature Asian, that my Black Templars have to be real Southern. Yeehaw! It's me, brother. Get good. I don't know if I should do a silver. Should I do a silver inside the brown chips, or should I do like a, I don't know, just like a lighter white? Let's experiment. Let's experiment. Okay, so take our Runefang Steel, just highlight up any silver we see. Yeah, that's cool. All right, let's do that. Oh, there's my daughter. I hope you guys have a great night. Looks like she found the door on her own. Thanks for joining me on my stream, you guys. And maybe I'll come back later. We'll see. Good night.